for you personally, if it came down to it, would you be willing to be away from your family for potentially 4.5 months if it meant playing the season and catching your paychecks?
I mean, I think I would. I think everybody's in their own unique situation. And for me, at 35 and finally making it to free agency at this age, I don't think people are going to be knocking down my door at 38 to sign another 3-year deal. So for me personally, I would like to play. And kind of what I've been saying this whole time for the last, I guess 4 weeks, 5 weeks that we've kind of seen this coming is 2020 is going to look really different. And everybody kind of has to understand that going in, that it's not going to be your normal Major League Baseball season. It's not going to look like 2019. It's not going to look like 2021. 2020 is going to stand by itself. And I think you have to figure out what's important to you and kind of stick to it. If what's important to Major League Baseball is playing the most possible games that we can, then it's going to look really quirky and it's going to look different. And we're just going to have to roll with it. And I'm willing to do whatever that is. So
Okay.
us as a collective group of our union, I think these are a lot of conversations we're going to have. And, everybody's going to voice their opinion and we're going to, come up with a collective, direction here. And it's news to me. Like I woke up this morning and kind of read everything that everybody else did. I haven't been contacted. I haven't talked to anybody else other than like a group text with, some Nats relievers that we all kind of, joke on the last few weeks. But it's interesting, and I'll see. I'm kind of waiting around like everybody else is.
What was the feeling, if you don't mind sharing, of your teammates on this topic?
I mean, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. Some guys were like, "That's crazy. That's stupid." Some guys are like, "Hey, man." Whatever I got to do to start collecting paychecks, I'm going to do, and I think there haven't been a lot of details come out about it, right? Like, who knows what it's going to look like? Who knows the time frame? If it's going to be 4 months or 6 weeks? Like, we don't really know. I mean, this is like a week-to-week thing that we're all a part of as a world, as a country, as a city that we're here in Baton Rouge. So, like, things change very quickly. And so to try and, like, put a finger on how long it would look like, I think is like irresponsible. Like it just you can't. It changes so quick. And so me personally, just speaking for myself, I'm ready to play some baseball. And I think a lot of guys are. So
I'm interested to hear. Well, in part of kind of what I walk through is I go, okay, if for the guys that are single guys, it's a no-brainer, right? You're going to go play. If you're a guy that's like an ultra competitive guy that just wants to play and compete for a championship, you're going to go play. Like, can you put your finger on? And I understand this is like not in any way scientific, but like, could you put a percentage on the number of guys that you feel would push back and be like, I'm not leaving my family?
Well, I would say it's hard. It's hard to make that. I mean, an immediate pop in my head was like 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Okay. That was an immediate pop in my head. But then because we don't know a time frame, like if they're proposing, hey, we do like kind of what you said in your lead in, we do a BioDome situation for 5 months. That's different. If you tell me that, right, I'm gonna contemplate what it is. But me personally, that I think it's gonna be, and I don't know this, is that it would be a, hey guys, listen, we're gonna do this in the beginning, and the second that we can get your families freed up to come to wherever that is, Arizona, let's say, in this hypothesis, then we're going to allow that to happen, right? Now, if you tell me that, then I'm ready to go. Okay. Because, I'm just going to sit and hope and pray that, okay, some things change, we get a little bit, grasp on this whole thing, and then our families are allowed to come out, right? And that's what I'm hoping the direction that this goes in. You're right. And that's why I say, that I'm ready to play ball, because I'm I'm guessing or hoping that that's the direction that it would go.
Will Harris is our guest. You played in Arizona. Does it make sense feasibly at Diamondbacks, at Chase Field, and then all the spring? They said about 10 spring training fields around there that you could make it work there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there is better than anywhere else if you're trying to create like a community or a groups throughout, because so like you've got 10 stadiums, you have Chase Field, and people even Chase Field's a turf field, so in theory you could play more than one game there a day because the field can handle it. The turnover would be pretty quick. Just got to redo the mound and home plate where the dirt is, right? So that's plausible, I guess. You could set the roof. That's a bonus because it's going to get hot.
Yeah.
But you've got the 10 parks around. You've got minor league facilities. So, like, if you wanted to have minor leaguers there, and this is just me talking, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Sure.
But I don't see it being feasible without having some farm system. Teams use on average mid-30s players a year. The roster's 25, 26, but you're using well over that. So you need a farm system to pluck guys from for injuries and things like that. So all of those facilities could house that, right? And you could do multiple teams at facilities because most of those are split. The Royals and the Rangers share, the Rockies and the Diamondbacks share. So you have a lot of space. But I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't think anybody does.
You're right, and nobody knows what it looks like. But I do appreciate your willingness to have the conversation, because you've been around Major League Baseball for a long time now, and your perspective talking through this through that lens just adds some color that none of us could get just spitballing. And so, I mean, and nobody's going to be like, oh, remember that day when Will Harris said that they could, it's just, it's all just trying to piece together what this might look like. So I do appreciate it. What about they've talked about like a 2-week ramp up. So go to Arizona, a 2-week modified spring training, then start games. Is that enough based on where you already were? And this is obviously going to be a bigger deal for pitchers than probably starters than anybody, but from where you were when they suspended everything, would a 2-week ramp up sometime in May be enough?
See, they get the 2-week number because of the strike year. Okay, in the strike year in 94, 95, whatever that was, they did that. When they finally came to an agreement with owners, they said, everybody get your tail to spring training complexes because you got 2 weeks, and then we're starting to play baseball. And they were able to do it. Now, today's game is different than then. But that's where they get that 2-week number, as like it was done before, and we kind of have a blueprint of how to do it. Now, it varies. Some guys say there's no way that I could do that. Some guys say, hey, it is what it is. You throw out this is all just opinions, right? Of like, have a bigger roster for the first few weeks, so that way you could shorten spring training and starting pitchers pitch counts that are not, say, 100 that they normally are. They're only able to get to that 75, 80 pitch count in the abbreviated, little ramp up spring training. Well, you could expand rosters for a certain number of weeks, right? That then would allow starting pitchers some breathing room, because you could carry more pitchers that could eat up innings and, all of those things. And that's all it's easy to say, right? And it's different when you talk about, well, now you're adding payroll, owners, this is money out of their pocket. This is, there's a lot of moving pieces to all of that. And MLBPA and ownership and MLB are meeting every day, every week, and they're ironing through all of these things and going to try and come up with what is the best scenario. Is it 2 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? Because at the same time, speaking from the Nationals' perspective, I mean, I don't know how comfortable I am pushing Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg and Patrick Corbin and Anibal Sanchez. Hey, guys, you got 2 weeks, and you're the backbone of our team. Like, what if those guys get hurt? right? Because you're adding on strain to them to get ready quicker. Well, now if those guys get hurt, well, that definitely limits us chances of making a postseason run. So like
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that go into this,
Hmm.
and I think as players, we want to play the most possible games that we can and have it look like Major League Baseball is, like people are used to seeing as much as we can, and not get hurt and risk ourselves of injury, because guys are going to be free agents at the end of the year. Do they want to push their body to a point that they've never pushed it before going into free agency? It's there's a lot of conversations that have to be had because it's never been done before. And, so I'm always speaking for myself when I say I'll play whenever they want. I'll be ready. I'm doing everything I can do here in Baton Rouge to keep myself ready. I threw a bullpen today. I felt really good. I was kind of like, I told my throwing partner Braden, I said, man, kind of wish I had a game to play in today because I feel like I feel pretty good.
I was gonna say who caught you?
Well, a net, a Marucci net.
If I put on full catching gear and can I come catch you in a bullpen?
Absolutely.
Where do we go? I'll do it. I'm dead serious. I'll do it.
I mean, dude, I throw in the U Club Common Ground by the tennis courts every day.
This is so good. Yeah. Like we'll think about the absurdity, like the unprecedented absurdity of a big leaguer throwing in the common grounds by the tennis courts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I got done and was like, man, that was really good. Really? Who knows?
Do you have a bump, or are you just doing flat ground?
So I found this little hill, man, in that common ground that, like, I've thrown on enough mounds, right, to know. And I had I had Kevin Gosman, I had other guys step down this, and like, man, doesn't this feel like kind of normal, And so, I brought the tape measure out, put down a home plate, and look. I feel like I'm doing great. Like I feel like I had a mound in my backyard. It was turf, and it didn't work. It was making me sore. I was like, I got to come up with something else. And so I've had offers. There's people that have mounds. Durbin's got a mound here in my neighborhood, so I'm going to work on doing that. But I can't beat hopping in a golf cart and driving a tenth of a mile down the street and being able to play catch and get it all done. It's because in turn too, I'm still quarantining myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going out and going to other people's homes, and it's a weird time. So as much off the grid training as I can do, I'm going to do it. Dude, you're more than welcome.
I will come catch. I promise. But I have to have gear. I got to be fully geared up, man. There's no way I'm taking I'm not taking a 91 mile an hour cutter in the junk. That's just not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
My biggest mistake was not booking you for longer because there's a million things I still want to ask. But last thing, and I appreciate your time so much, but last thing, do you, there's this conversation for some, and my feeling is I respect that MLB is trying. Like, they're trying to be innovative to say, what can we do to get back? Like, society at some point has to start down that path. Do you feel safe? Like, I think that's a natural question a lot of people are going to ask. Like, are you okay with this, with them pushing to get back?
So I am. I would feel safe because I'm not a professional of health, right? Like, that health class I took was my freshman year of high school. Okay, so there are people that are much smarter or more informed than me, and if this does happen, there's going to be protocols and there's going to be rules and regulations and schedules that we're going to be forced to do. Okay, and so if I feel like people smarter than me are going to put these things in place with my best intentions and to keep me and all of us healthy, and not just Major League Baseball players, but everybody else involved too. And so yeah, I mean, I'm going to trust those people that are going to make these decisions and these schedules and these protocols to put us in the best possible situation to play ball. And and that's all I can do. Like I said, I don't claim to know a lot about all of this stuff. I don't. I'm like everybody else. I know what I read or what I dig into on the internet and things like that. But to say that I'm a professional in it is not nowhere near. So I'm going to lean on our training staff, on our medical staff, on our coaching staff for all of that kind of stuff, and trust them. And it's not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So it's just I don't expect it to be.
Awesome perspective, man. Always enjoy chatting with you. I appreciate a couple of minutes. All right, man.
All right, man. Anytime.